So guys, welcome back to the channel, and as you can see behind me, we've got another old Volvo to rescue. This is a 1989 Volvo 740 and it's been sat here for quite a few years. Our task today is to get it running and driving so we can get it back to the workshop. Let's have a closer look at what we're dealing with. So it was originally somewhere way out in the overgrowth over there. So they've used this, they've dragged it out of there and dragged it down to where it is now, so at least we can actually get to it and work on it. So we'll have a quick look around it first, and then we'll have a look at the interior, and then we'll have a look in the engine bay and see what we need to do to get it running. I have looked around it once briefly with the owner, but I haven't seen what's under the bonnet yet. I know it's 2.3 and it's an automatic, that's all I know. I had a quick look at the interior. First thing the previous owner did point out was this damage here, and he told me that he crashed into a brick wall, and of course I made the very predictable joke of, oh well, I'm sure the brick wall looks much worse, and he looked up at me and he was like, the wall's gone. And he said it with such conviction. I wish I'd have caught it on camera, but yeah, he completely wiped out a brick wall. It doesn't exist anymore, and yeah, cost him quite a lot of money actually to replace it. You know, if there's damage like that, whatever it's hit has come off far worse. So and in this case it's non-existent anymore. So the last MOT ran out in 2021, so that's at least a few years it's been off the road for. Generally it's quite good, and there aren't any major dents, big scratches or any of that sort of stuff, or rust on the body. There's that little bit there, but apart from that, it just wants a bit of time cleaning up, doesn't it? A bit of time spent on it, getting it nice and clean again, nice and shiny, and I think it will look fantastic. So anyway, let's have a look inside. As you can see, it is very green. We've had some very heavy rain lately that will have washed it off a bit, but you can tell. Very green indeed. So first impressions of the interior, not great, but actually it's actually in quite good shape. Obviously we've got the standard cracks on the dash, but the other door cards actually look really nice. 147,000. No headliner, of course, standard stuff. It's what we expect, isn't it? Just needs a good clean, doesn't it, really? And I think it will look really nice. So, first look then. So what have we got? B230F, standard stuff. Okay, ends in 016, so that's LH 2.4. Is a good thing, of course, because we've got our little diagnostic box, so we can get our codes. Battery will be completely flat, but that helps us with a bit of diagnostics, which is useful. And obviously it's going to be easier getting parts as well if we need them. I can see here we've got, that's for the crankcase breather, isn't it, that one? It's probably snapped off, as they like to do. Yeah, so you can probably see there where it's snapped off. So that will affect the crankcase breather, of course. So that won't be functioning properly. Especially on idle. You'll probably have excess pressure on idle, so hence why we've got oil leaks here. Even though these seals are quite bad, that's probably not helping the fact that the PCV, these hoses fold in, but it's not split, so it should be okay. And everything else Looks quite good. I don't know anything about the history, service wise or repair wise at all. So all I do know, or the guy said that it ran when parked, so that old chestnut. So yeah, hopefully it does. He said it ran strong, so let's have a look, see if we've got any coolant. There's not a drop in there, not to worry. Yeah, quite an old looking battery. Really, the main thing that we want is oil, as long as there's some oil in it. It's not looking good, but there is a tiny bit of oil in there, so I've got some with me. We'll top that up. Transmission. Hopefully something in there. Yeah, plenty of fluid. How does it look? Oh, actually really nice. Nice and blood red. That's what we want. Cherry red. Don't know why I said blood red. That's a bit creepy, isn't it? So put that back in. So we'll just check the air filter as well to make sure there's nothing living in there. No nests, despite it being in a field for a few years, so yeah, that's good to see. I'll leave that loose in case we need to bit of wakey juice. Quick look in the battery tray, because they always rust out here, don't they? And actually, that looks promising. That's definitely one of the best I've ever seen, for sure. A little bit of surface rust, and it's not been welded before, so yeah, that's a massive indicator for generally how the car should look overall and underneath, so fingers crossed. So let's see if we've got any action on the dash now. It's going down. It started off at nearly half a tank. Oh yeah, no problem at all. I'll do a full rotation by hand, just to make sure it doesn't stick anywhere before we jam the starter on. We've got compression, which is good. Yeah. And it started straight up like it's in use every day. So good news, terrible for content, absolutely terrible for content, because now we can just drive it home, and we know it will drive home fine as well. We do need to sort out the tyres, they're flat. We better not run it for too long because there's no coolant in it, but look at that. Perhaps I should have tried to put air in it before trying to drive it, but not to worry. Yeah, it's popped off the bead, so we've got no chance of doing that. Perhaps we've got a spare that we can use. Yeah, always the same, always the same. Hit the key and they fire up. It doesn't matter how long you leave them. So yeah, it's good. Obviously it's good, especially it's good because I bought something that starts and runs well, and it's good because we can say, yes, old Volvo, that's how they go. That's what they're good at. They just start. It's another point, isn't it? It proves the point about old Volvos even more. But of course it's less content. It's a shorter video therefore, because I don't have anything to fix. I thought I'd at least, okay, take the spark plugs out, see if we've got spark, see if we've got fuel, you know, the usual stuff. But no, she's ready to go. Doesn't matter how long it's been sat, ready to go. So yeah, this is how they are. But so yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet result actually, but no, it is good. So yeah, there we go anyway. So make sure you tune in for the next video where we get it back to the workshop and we have a bit of a deeper dive. We'll have a look underneath and we'll see how the rust situation is, and then of course at some point we need to give it that satisfying first wash, and I'm really excited for that because it should come up beautifully, especially after a bit of a polish as well. So make sure you don't miss it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.